because they want the plate to roll through the mill with a little upward curvature, and it's a reversing mill, so they go this way and that way. And if you pooled, sometimes you get Rocky Mountains on both sides, sometimes only one side, and they actually ran this one a little faster than that one because you didn't want the plate to cobble down into the rolls on the mill, the bed of the mill. You wanted them to kind of have a little slightly upward curvature, so this one would go slower than this one. Intentionally, that would create a little cup on the end where the water would pool, and then the water would cool it off while the guy's out there making his measurement or whatever, and then they go through it again. And so this was cooler than this, and I said, well, you need to go and do some calculations, and I showed her where to get the film boiling, heat transfer and stuff. Do some calculations. She could explain 80% of the variation they were measuring based on the more rapid cooling for the longer time that the water was present. She writes up her thesis. All we needed, they have compressed air in a plant like this. I said, all you need is an air knife. You just have a valve there, and you put some piping across here at the end, and you blow the water off the plate and don't let it just sit there and evaporate off, okay? And I figured the piping could cost you $10,000, you know, to engineer the piping, but you already own the compressed air, so what's the big deal? So at the time, I figured this has a one-day payback, right? You don't scrap one plate and you make $10,000, right? So at the time I was serving on with these National Research Council committees with a guy, Owen Richmond, who was head of all the metal forming at Alcoa Research. And so I told Owen this story, and I said, Owen, you know, it's in Julie's thesis. She's given the thesis to the Davenport Works, but they're not going to read it. And they're certainly not going to pay any attention. Oh, Tom, oh no. This is something, I will take care of it personally. I said, okay, fine. I said, but I'll bet you $10,000. This is a Omni bet, right? I'll bet you $10,000 that they don't. No, I'll take care of it. So about a year later, we're at another one of these meetings, and we're having the cocktail hour, and I see Owen, I say, hey, Owen, how'd that thing go at the Davenport Works? Do you owe me $10,000 or not? He just turned on his heels and walked away without saying a word. So do you think they ever got the air knives at Davenport? Fix their problem? No. This is the way it's done in American industry, okay? So, okay, thanks. I filled it up with stories. The last stories.